No, we're okay with that. So yeah, if you let one fly, that's all right. We're not going to bleep you or cut you off or hang up on you or anything like that. So I mean, you have to go with your feeling, and at that time, you know, there's been times that I wanted to drop an F-bomb, but I don't.
Yeah, sometimes the F-bomb just, it fits, it kind of exclamates the word that much more. It's like, yeah, like you mean it more, you know? Great.
Exactly. Well, how else did you choose, or let's see, how can I put this? The other actors that are in the film, how did you choose them? Or did they choose you?
For Monumental?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we auditioned pretty much everyone. Just some people I knew, and from their reel I could do it. Like Bill Olyphant Jr., I met him at a Coldwater, Vince Crishaw's directorial debut. I met him at a Coldwater, what's it called, table read. And I ended up sitting next to him, and I was like, man, this guy looks so familiar. We ended up just connecting. It was a small world. He was attached to Circus Dread, and another connecting the dots. And we kept in touch, and we met up, and I told him about Monumental. He said, send it over. So he read it, and he's like, yeah, I like it. And I, kind of installed from that role because he's obviously can pull it off. And so he got connected that way. Marshall Hilton, who came in a couple weeks ago and auditioned and just blew. I mean, there was no competition for him. Mm-hmm. He was absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, when someone just does what they do, I mean, I don't know. I got lucky. He came in, and I'm so fortunate to have him and everyone that's on. And the hardest thing was casting Dorothy, the mother, who plays my mother. And Dorothy's got to be this ultimate mother, that glows and smiles without even smiling. That dream woman, basically. And this lady, Maggie Paul, walked in, and she auditioned for a smaller role. And when she was done, I told China, the casting director, I said, she'd be a great Dorothy. And she had that energy, man. I just wanted to hug her. It was just amazing. And we brought her back, and she was the only one that came back on the following Monday for callbacks. Did not have the material with her, like she had it memorized. The only one.
Gosh.
And I'm a stickler. I understand, so we need the dialogue. I'm a stickler. I will not walk into an audition room with sides. I won't. That means, to me, it just shows you're not prepared. And if it's a cold read, sure, but if you have a couple of days, you should be ready, or don't step in. She came in, made it her own, and was just, I'm so excited to have her, because when I wrote that character, and now to see who's playing it, I couldn't be more satisfied.
Wow.
She's going to be awesome. So, yeah, just the casting process, putting that together, and it's pretty much everybody on board is, auditioned.
It's so exciting. I'd like to be on a set just one time to see how these things work, and just to be a butterfly in the back or a fly on the wall or whatever, just to see this. It just amazes me, and it's such an interest for me, but not anything that I'd want to do professionally.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
People don't realize being an actor or a filmmaker, just because we're, people think that we're working, or they think it's easier because they show up on set or they see the work that's done, the final product, but they don't realize how much time and energy went into that one shot, that just to create a set. Like, I was literally driving home today with my buddy after we were looking at RVs, and I was talking about, we're creating a set, Monumental. We're creating its own world, and it's been a long, hard journey. Not even that long, actually. It's actually been about 4 months. It just feels like a lifetime.
Yeah.
But I have a great team. Stuart Page, my producer, he doesn't sleep. He does not sleep. He's phenomenal. Everyone. It's a whole unit just working their butts off. So, and that's what it takes. Nonstop dedication.
Well, it's great to have backup like that, because these movies wouldn't get made without people like that.
Exactly. I couldn't make Monumental a couple of years ago. It's just being a nice guy over these years, people seem to be dropping their hats for me, like, hey, you got it. And I was like, really? And I hate to ask for favors. Like, even Mark Gant was saying on your show, he hates to ask for favors, and so do I. But in the indie world nowadays, you you have to. I mean, you have to ask favors, one way or the other, and it's not even like a favor. I mean, they get something in return, and half the time, but I'm so grateful, and anyone from Monumental, I'll forever be indebted to them. So, and like I said, I don't know how far you are from Indianapolis. We're going to be filming a couple of days down in Indiana, just in the middle of Indiana, and then just south in Salem. If you ever come down for the day, you'd be part of all the action, because there's some action scenes going on both those days.
That's so cool. I'm like about 4 hours away, and maybe if I grab my daughter, and the one that wanted to be the movie star, and now that she's 22 doesn't know what she wants to be. Maybe she could take a ride with me, or maybe one of my sons. That would be cool. I know they would love that.
It'll be towards the end of this month. I'll give you the dates when I actually have them concrete, but the invitation will be open. So.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, you mentioned to me about another upcoming role for you in Daylight End. Congrats, first of all. And what's that about?
Yeah, another thing came out of nowhere just now. My buddy Chad Law wrote this, and director William Kaufman, who did Sinners and Saints and Hit List and a couple other movies, I guess just recently put this movie together, and it starts shooting. I don't know if it has a start date. I was told like July 8th-ish. So I'm my last day on Monumental is July 3rd. So
I was going to say, how's that going to work?
Yeah, and like I said, it's a problem I'm happy to have. I'd rather have that problem than not. So it's a crazy post-apocalyptic, I can't even speak right now, post-apocalyptic thriller. It's going to be just action. It's a great story too. I just read the script the other day, and I was just like, wow, this is going to be fun. I've never done anything like this. So it's going to, I can't get into too much detail because I don't know that much. But it's going to have a great cast for what I'm told. I don't know if I can mention things that for contract, it's always tricky. But I know William Kaufman's directing it. Chad Law wrote it. And that's just formula for success. Two great filmmakers. So I'm like a kid in the candy store thinking about it. So it's
wow. Now, did you ever think of doing like a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo for your film Monumental, or one of your upcoming films that you've just written?
We did for Monumental. We raised a little bit of money. A pretty good amount, and then we had a private investor come in, and Baron Bodner came in and gave us the money that we needed extra, and he's like, go make your movie. I was talking to him yesterday, and he's just a great guy, and he's a friend of Scott, the director, and I met with him, and we were talking, and worked out the stipulations. I was like, man, let's do this, and that's what he said. He's like, let's go make your movie. So he told me yesterday we're going to make a dope movie, and I'm just so grateful to have a guy like that to come on and believe in what we're doing. And so I mean that's what it's taken. But he's an investor. The rest we've raised through our own our own little contributions.
Well, it's great to have people that believe in you like that are willing to give you the money that you need to continue on.
Yeah, that's what we were saying today. I was just thinking, Baron, it's great that he came on board. I'm going to call him on right after this and thank him again. I'm never going to stop thanking him. It's really, truly just a blessing to have someone come on like that and say, go make your movie. It's the best words a filmmaker can hear. Go make your movie.
Now, how many, as far as like acting classes, did you take, or is it more of, do you research every single role that you do, or just, as you said, learn along the way?
A little bit of everything. I started with acting classes at a young age, doing like theater stuff, just little workshops, and then when I moved to L.A. from Modesto, I was doing this little local actor studio thing for a while, just scene studies with people my age, some older people, a little bit of that, and then just kind of being on set. The best for me is actually working, because you learn, and I think a great director can make an actor great. You know, that you find that they pull it out of you. And like I said, with Black Butterflies, Brian made me from the moment I met him to the point when I was done working with him on that, I became a much greater actor from working with him. I got to give props to Mika Cohen, actually, for Lost in the Crowd. I think he's the first director that really made me an actor, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
He really did.
Because they know what to say to get you to do whatever they want at that point, and then you learn from there to, you know, take it on to your next role or roles after that.
Yeah, because he's like he opened up. It's like he chiseled away and he broke through something with me mentally, and forever that it was like just a weight lift off my shoulders. And then when it comes to character and feeling certain emotions, I mean, it's just at a tip, you know, like no problem for me anymore. And Mika dug that out through the role that I played in that movie, Lost in the Crowd, which still is not out yet, but should be shortly. But I haven't talked to Mika in a while, but I have to throw that out there. He opened up the floodgates big time.
So now, are you able to cry on cue?
I could. I just hate to say on cue because that to me is not. That's kind of, I don't know. To me as an actor, it's like for Alex, I cry a lot in Black Butterflies. He's just a big crybaby.
Oh.
But it's, I mean, it's in the script. Our job as actors is to make the black and white colorful, you know. And people always ask me, how did you get to that emotion? I said, was like, did you think about this in your past? And I said, look, it's not gary-cairns. It's not that. The character Luther is in Lost in the Crowd. It's not Luther's job to get to know Gary. It's Gary-Cairns' job to get to know Luther. So I don't ever think back in my life. I don't have that whole Stanislavski method and Meisner. Okay, think back to something that makes you painful. To me, that's cheap. To me, it's like if you can't bring what's there and don't step on stage. You feel the script. I read it like Anthony Hopkins. I learned from what I heard. I didn't meet him. I heard that he reads a script like 200 times, and then he just feels a character. So I go, okay, let me try that. He's a great actor, and we model that. I did that with Black Butterflies, and I just swear it truly helped. I read that script. I remember 17 straight times, from top to bottom, and I finally fell asleep. And then I kept doing that because I had about a month of prep, and it's a unique story, kind of, you know, with what goes on and postal. You know, I can't bring up certain things. But reading it so many times, you just embed it. So when I was on set, we shot certain things in order. So I got to meet my wife, that plays my wife first, and I got to know her. I got to really just feel for her, and I carried that through the rest of the movie. And yeah, I mean, on cue shooting Black Butterflies, absolutely. Did I cry? But that's because it was the character, and I don't want to cry. Yeah, you
became the character. That's
I don't want to cry just because Gary feels like crying. That's not the role. That's not Alex, you know. So I bump into that a lot of times. Acting class, you hear, "Oh, I can cry on cue." I'm like, "Oh, shove it," you know. Like I see these actors, I'm like, big deal. Like it's to me, it's cheap. Unless there's a reason for it, you know. It has to have a meaning. Every word, every moment, every breath has to have a meaning. Because you, as a person, you guys talking now, you have a meaning of doing what you do. And as an actor, it's our job to portray it, regardless if it's a comedy or if it's a drama, if it's a thriller. We got to portray that as close as we possibly can by feeling it, and that's only just by embedding yourself into the role.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I know that there are other actors out there because I've read it. So, of course, you can't believe everything you read, too. But, you know, that there's other actors out there that can't bring themselves to cry no matter what they think or do. So, you know, they do the fake kind of crying, and that kind of makes me insane because somebody's bawling their eyes out and so bad, but yet there's not one tear.
I say get off the stage. I mean, it hurts me because some of these people are getting paid $20 million in the movie,
right?
And I'm just like, man, come on, go get your stick and make you cry. I hate that. I'm like, come on.
Poke yourself in the eye, something. My gosh, just one tear. That's all I ask for.
Yeah. Hey, any actors out there need to cry? Come call me. I'll show you what's up. I've worked with some actors. It's just more of a recent thing, but I'll sit with them. I'm like, let them feel that character. I tell them, like, you know. And I've worked with some actors on set, and they've gotten there. like Nick Nicotera, I think on Black Butterflies, he did a great job. He was talking about, you got to get emotional